Welcome to Dream Big, and we are coming to you from the Open Chord in Knoxville, Tennessee. My next guest is a film historian who works with the Chattanooga Film Commission, and I'm honored to have him on the show today. Please give Kris Jones a warm welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so glad that you made it on the show today.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Rose.
What is your dream that you're going to make happen?
Okay. I'm currently in the process of transitioning jobs. I currently work right now with the Chattanooga Film Commission, as you mentioned, and we work out of Heritage House, which is an arts center located in East Brainerd. And we do a wide variety of things, but in the film realm, we do a filmmakers mixer called The Backlot, which meets once a month and connect talented filmmakers. And we also do 2 film series, an international film series and a classic film series. And then when I actually have spare time, I'm working on a book. I'm working on a history of the book of, the artist, I should say, David Bowie, and is working on The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Oh, that's so cool.
A critical essay on it, right?
I loved it.
Yeah. Tripped all over my tongue there. There's actually been several books written on it already, but this is more of a critical analysis, so it's more like what you would probably consider like cinema studies, why the film works the way it does with on an emotional level, why it connects with an audience the way it does. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. I've actually not seen the film. So explain to me a little bit about what is that emotional connection that I would have if I were to watch it.
Okay. Well, the film was produced in 1975, released in 1976, and it was very much designed to relate to the youth culture of the time. So, and of course, being a 70s film, and this will tie right in with the rest of your show, it's a little bit on the racy side. As if you see the director's cut, which is the version that's out now, there's a lot of gratuitous sex, no drug use, but a little bit violent. It's very much probably what you can consider an art film, although the term art film didn't really exist, in the way we think of it now. So you haven't seen the film, I'll tell you what it's about. It's significant because it's David Bowie's first feature film. It comes probably closest in terms of portraying his real world persona on screen. He very much even admits that he was playing himself. Thomas Jerome Newton is an alien that comes to Earth from outer space in earthly guise, and he creates this enormous corporation to sell all kinds of consumer products, make millions and billions of dollars, to build a space program, to build a spaceship, to go back to his home planet and rescue his family and the rest of his race and bring them to Earth.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah. So it's a wonderful film. It's a very dark film, though. I'm not going to give it away. It does not have a happy ending, but it's a real mind tiller. It really gets you thinking. It's a lot to consider. And since today is Earth Day, the day we're taping this on, it actually has a lot of themes about environmental devastation. That's one of the sub-themes that runs through it. So.
Oh, wow, that's fascinating. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch that now. I'm pretty sure I could find that on Netflix or something.
Yeah, just not with the kids.
Right.
Yeah, it's NC-17, I think. Yeah.
Gotcha. I will make sure. Oh, that's really cool. So what was your inspiration behind wanting to do that?
When I went to film school at Valencia in Orlando, Florida. And for those of you out there watching that you're looking for a film school, it's one of the best film schools in the nation. And I can say that because Steven Spielberg said that. And what is unique about the Valencia program is that it's an actual real-world film school where each of the class members take on a role of a crew position. It's like you're working for a job on an actual film set. And they produce at least one feature a year. They bring in an outside director, an outside script, provide all the equipment, all the crew, and it's the best way to learn because it's a rubber meets the road kind of learning operation.
Oh wow! So it's literally like the acting students taking on and filling in the crew members.
Yeah, well, no, just crew mainly. Yeah. Now we pull actors from the theater department, but it's designed to get you what's called below the line crew positions, which is. And it's kind of, I like to think of it as it's a real world type film operation because we're not promising anybody they're going to be the next David Lynch or whatever. You come in and you learn to be a set lighting technician, a camera assistant, the same jobs you're going to get when you actually apply to get into the film industry. So and then you have all the skills that you need. Should you go on to be a director, you've already done all those things below the line. So.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's so neat coming from, me, trained, working on being an actress and then being in the kind of like in your world and looking from your side into my perspective and learning that. I love being on set somewhere and watching everything that the crew does, you know, and they're setting up and doing, and they're running around, but they're still, it looks like chaos, but it's controlled chaos, and everybody's working together as such a strong unit and team to make it happen. And when you look onto it, especially even just doing background and stuff, and you're watching and waiting, because technically you're not supposed to be really seen, you're just there to fill in empty space, and you're watching the actors do their thing and they're acting, but then you're still watching what the crew's doing, where the cameras are moving, and where the lighting and the boom mic holder is doing, and it's just fascinating because there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah, I worked on, back in the summer of 2012, I was very lucky, the film 42, the Jackie Robinson story, filmed the majority of its baseball sequences in Chattanooga, and I worked on that for 5 weeks. And I actually tell everybody I ran away and joined the circus, because we went to Atlanta and we went to Macon and filmed, you know, all over the South. And the great thing about a motion picture of that scale is there is so much money being spent. Everybody's on their A game. There is nobody, I mean, there's so much money being spent just per second that everyone's just like, bam, what do you need? What can I get for you? Boom, 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 boom. Just, it works like clockwork. It's like a military operation, and it's just, it's a wonderfully invigorating experience. It's just, you know, and everybody's working for the same goal. You know, we're all on the same team, so it's just a great experience. You know.
So when do you think that you'll have your book ready?
I'm working on it right now. I'm about 2/3 of the way done with it. I've done quite a few primary interviews. I've been very blessed. IMDb Pro is a wonderful resource if you're trying to get hold of, you know, prominent people in the entertainment industry. And most people I've interviewed have all been, of course I haven't interviewed David Bowie. I have to take, you know, I have to be honest there. And not too many people get that opportunity. Unfortunately, of course, he's no longer with us. But I've worked with, and interviewed a lot of the people that worked around him on the set and everything. And they were all most gracious and everything. And so it's a film that everyone's fascinated by and people love to talk about. So, talking with the publisher now. I'll be in contract talks sometime this fall. So in the meantime, I'm revising and making sure I have all my P's and Q's, you know, and everything. This is a first-time book for me. I've written articles and things like that. It's my first time as a book, and I brought with you today, we'll show it to you later, I brought a mock-up. One of the things they require you to do, you have to create a fake cover for your book. So even though it's not the cover that's going to be used, it's kind of like, it's like getting a college degree. You know, they always say the purpose of a college degree is to show people you can actually stick with something for 4 years.
Right,
you know,
it's because it's like a nonfiction, so you have to have all of your platform and everything
and
to pitch it, you know, even before you finish writing it. It's completely opposite from when you're writing, you know, not fiction and, you know, everything's, you know, fantasy or whatever, and then you have to have the entire thing written before you pitch that. So.
Basically, what a publisher wants, I guess you can call them getting lazy or whatever it is, but the industry has changed so much. When the publisher accepts your book, they want you basically to be like a turnkey operation. Basically, you've already got your social network, like you have. You have all of your, you know, followers and your Twitter feeds and all that kind of thing. So that should they say yes to your book, all it's got, you know, it just greenlights this whole marketing operation that's already tied in. So that's a learning process in itself. So for authors, it's very challenging to find the time. We all know, you know, how challenging it is to find the time just to write, but then you have to find the time to do all of the social media marketing and all of that, the platform, creating the platform as well.
Right, and the brand, and there's a lot that goes into it, way more now than it used to. I mean, before social media hit, I mean, it was basically just have your platform, your marketing and everything, and you pitch, and they didn't, you know, it wasn't a matter of, well, how many followers do you have, and, you know, do you have a fan base, and now you do, even in acting and, you know, anything else that you're doing now, you kind of have to have those things.
Right.
It's just different, you know, it's completely different. But, so what is your advice to others who are chasing their dreams?
In terms of being an author, writing?
Anything.
Anything, okay. When I was in film school at Valencia, and I think this applies equally to any artistic endeavor. The late Ralph Clemente, who was the head of the Valencia film program, he said, being a successful filmmaker takes 3 things: luck, pluck, and persistence. Okay, obviously luck you can't control, But I think if you're persistent and you have a bit of chutzpah, which, for example, yourself, then the luck will take care of itself. So I think that's the best piece of advice. I mean, and always be doing something artistic. Even if you're not doing exactly what you want to be doing something in the creative realm so that you're at least kind of, dovetailing with it. And as you know, all of us who are creatives, we feel better when we're being creative. If we're not being creative, we go in a slump, we start feeling really lousy. So I think that would be a good piece of advice as well. So,
it is very good advice.
Stay engaged creatively, regardless,
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. And I really hope that you return and share with us, the rest of your journey.
Yes, I'll give you an update, yes.
Thank you.